Have you ever had a friend that was about to do something stupid, like some sort of get-rich-quick scheme, and you desperately try to talk them out of it, but you know deep in your heart they're going to try to do it anyway because they're just so excited? That is exactly how I feel whenever somebody asks us to be STI tested today or right away. My name is Robert and I own an STI testing company, and today I'm going to tell you why trying to get tested today is a super bad idea. Now, first off, why might someone want to be tested today? Well, the reasons why people tell us, the number one thing is they had a questionable sexual experience recently, and the anxiety not knowing if they have contracted some sort of STI is absolutely tearing them apart. And to those people, I would say, you probably didn't contract an STI. Try to relax a little bit. The other reason is because they have a date coming up in a couple of days, and somebody has promised them something if they get an STI test. And so they're extremely motivated to get an STI test, right away. But in both cases, the problem is it is practically impossible to get a thorough STI test right away. And thoroughness is what matters most. Let's talk about this first. Now, if you go to Google and you type "get STI tested today," the companies that are bidding on those AdWords, those Google AdWords, can get you tested today. The problem is you order the test kit from them, and then they're going to send you to a Quest or a LabCorp. Now, if you're not familiar, here in the United States, Quest and LabCorp are these little phlebotomy centers. There's hundreds, if not thousands of them across the country, and you go there and you get your blood drawn and things like that. Actually works quite well. The problem is those places will not do throat swab testing. And that's a big problem for sexually transmitted infections, because gonorrhea and chlamydia are site-specific bacterial infections. And you have to swab or collect cells from the areas of the body that you might have them. So if you have anal sex, you have to have an anal swab. But if you don't, you at the very least have to have a genital swab or urine test. And then if you have oral sex, which you undoubtedly do, you have to get a throat swab, because you can test negatively genitally and have it orally. And in fact, it's often asymptomatic orally. So what is the point in rushing to get an STI test if there's roughly a 50-50 chance you don't even know if you have gonorrhea or chlamydia? Huge mistake. And that is one problem with trying to get tested very quickly. Now, the other option that you have to get tested quickly is to find a physician in your area that has openings today. And I got to tell you, the reason why we started this company is because most physicians are not trained well enough to STI test people properly. So first of all, if you went to 10 different doctors, you would get 10 different STI panels, meaning the different infections that they choose to test or not. So most of them are not going to know about oral gonorrhea and chlamydia. Most of them are not going to know about trichomonas. They'll know what it is, but they won't think to include it in your test, even though it's the single most common curable STI in the United States. And so you really have to ask yourself, what is the point in getting tested right now if you're not even tested for all the sexually transmitted infections? You will be tested for a few of them, but probably not even most of them. Now, going back to the date person, hey, you may not actually care what your STI test says. You're just trying to go through the hoops to get what you want. And for that, I say just about any STI test will do. But for those of you that really want to understand your sexual health and really want to control your anxiety about a sexual situation that has already taken place, I urge you to slow down. You almost certainly did not contract an STI. Try to take some breaths. Go over to shamelesscare.com. Learn more about your sexual health. Learn more about STIs. And when it's time for you to get tested, choose a testing place that is very thorough, because that is truly the only way that you're going to get some actual peace of mind. I'm Robert from Shameless Care. Thank you.